We were looking at him as being maybe the player who could outscore Nicolas before he could create too many chances, but Nicolas dealt with him. And speaking of Nicolas, he's going to be playing, of course, in the white kit here. It's Resende versus Nicolas. It's our grand finals for the cross console. Let's get into this one.
And it's not like Resende scored that many more goals than Nicolas either. He's got 31 goals so far this tournament, Nicolas 27. But it's the goals conceded, which is massive. Only 10 goals this tournament as Nicolas let in. On the other side for Resende, he's letting 21 goals, so defensively not quite as good. But I remember when I saw Resende play back in Bucharest, I really kind of challenged his attacking football. I said he wasn't scoring enough goals. Well, he's come here to this tournament and he's proved that he can actually score some. And I tell you what, he looked incredible in that semi-final and he wants to carry on that into this grand final here.
Yeah, it looks like both players will be using that 4-2-3-1 formation as well. So going like for like, it's going to be a game of trying to spread the play, stretch your opponent and look for those openings. First attack of the game is going to be coming in from Nicolas here. Pele on the edge of the box, looks for that early strike. Ruud Gullit gets enough of the ball there before taking a little piece of Ronaldo, and you can see Resende with a couple of quick step-overs there. Able to beat his man and now spreads the play wide to Kyle Walker in this right-back position. This is something that Mike highlighted, using player that he's comfortable with in that right-back position. Of course, on full chemistry as well. Interesting position to watch.
Certainly, we've noticed a lot of players sticking with what they are comfortable with the Team of the Year foot items only being out a short while. Not time to adjust to them just yet.
Actually,
as a reminder,
Sergio Ramos, who was into that front post.
Yeah, as Sergio Ramos kind of putting right back, left back sometimes just to try and cover those height differences that we see with players. Sometimes Cristiano Ronaldo darting towards that back post from the cross. He's beating the players like Lala, like Marcelo, really struggling because of the height difference.
Free kick going to be given here in the favour of Nicolas. And he so far has looked pretty flawless. That record that you talked about, Dan, how he's got better tournament to tournament to tournament here. This would pretty much top it off for him as far as that consistent improvement has been concerned. Now he's on the edge of the box here with R9. R9 into CR7. That's a wild swing and a miss there as Ruud Gullit just takes it, pinches it off his toe. But speaking about Ruud Gullit pinching off his toe, he does it again here for Nicolas this time. R9 on the edge of the box, drives it back across goal. Just wide of the upright there. Courtois looked like he was not going to get too close to that one. The shot just not finding that bottom left-hand corner.
And it's been Nicolas who's come out hot from the blocks. You'd expect it to be Resende, considering he started on the Xbox. He chose to start on this console. He wanted to kind of pummel Nicolas early and make Nicolas have to fight back on his preferred console. Instead, Nicolas really showing up here. I did ask the question, had he had any practice on the Xbox side of things? Well, at the moment, it looks like he's faring pretty well.
Resende then on the attack. Lionel Messi. Mike highlighted on the touchscreen as well. Obviously, interesting to see him starting. That new Team of the Year foot item, 99 rated, of course. Doesn't get much better than that. Kante, though, in the midfield here for Resende. Interesting to see, not favouring Patrick Vieira there. We have seen goals from N'Golo Kante from that position. A couple of long-distance strikes which have turned games, so keep an eye if Kante does get the ball on the edge of the box. But one man who's got it on the inside of the 18-yard box was Lionel Messi. Did just loft that ball towards the back post. Defended well, though, by Nicolas. He's playing on that header.
And Nicolas's last two opponents have kind of been forced to take those shots from outside of the area, go for the long-range finesse. But Resende trying something a little bit different, trying to dink the ball to the back post. Trying to make Nicolas work even harder in defence. But I think everyone witnessed a masterclass of how to defend during the PS4 final. And Nicolas looks fairly comfortable here, even on the Xbox, I have to say. Still passing and moving well, creating opportunity here or there, and defensively keeping everything nice and tight.
Messi then trying to create something himself, finds the ball around the corner to CR7, Pele. Vieira joins the attack now. Messi maybe with a chance to hit it on that left foot. And oh my word, Lionel Messi finds that top left-hand corner with the time finesse shot. Nicolas takes the lead here in our cross-console final.
And he was obviously teeing up for it. You saw the way he was moving. He was looking, he was saying, is the keeper moving, is the keeper moving? No, he's not. I'm taking it, I'm having that opportunity. And Resende just not quick enough to react, moving his keeper. And Nicolas will be more than happy to go a goal up here on his unfamiliar console.
So then Nicolas continues his march towards being a cross-console champion here in London.
Towards history, Mark. Imagine being the first PS4 player to win a console versus console final since FIFA 17.
Huge accolade for him. I'm sure he'll be wanting to put that right. But Resende has already shown that he can create opportunities here. Messi just did enough there to keep Vieira off the ball. Messi now inside the box. Nicolas having to defend. Messi goes for that finesse, doesn't get the timing right, and that's been the difference between the two players here. Two very similar shots, similar opportunities. One was timed perfectly. The other one, unfortunately, a little bit late, sent it into the stands. So Nicolas now has the opportunity to start another attack of his own. Cancelo in at that fullback slot. And one thing that we should highlight, obviously, about João Cancelo, has those 4-star skills. So if you are getting into those advanced positions as well, you can use those croquetas to beat a man. And it's something that you might sort of forget about. Sometimes when you see those fullbacks in position, you know, you've got Marcelo, who's got 5-star skills. He can do it all. Cancelo with those 4-star skills. Kyle Walker sort of only has those 3-star skills, but probably has slightly better defensive capabilities. But Pele's now inside the box for Nicolas. Talking of croquetas, there is one.
And sometimes you have to use those fullbacks to get involved with the attack. If your wingers are really struggling to beat the defenders, you suddenly have to create even more space by playing a couple of 1-2s, use the overlap. Hullet's got some space here, though. A croqueta that you speak of, hit at goal. Courtois gets down quickly to save. But I would imagine that most fullbacks are set on stay back whilst attacking, but set to overlap just in case they do. They make that run out wide, and then you've got a nice, easy 1-2 pass to really kind of beat the opposition's fullbacks.
Resende has found pockets of space here in Nicolas' defence. Has managed to get in behind those CDMs a couple of times here, but now you see that defence coming in once again for Nicolas. And at the end of the first half of our first leg, of course being played on the Xbox One, his unfamiliar console, Nicolas takes a 1-goal advantage into the break.
And Boris was saying, I mean, it's slightly different to what we're used to seeing. We're used to seeing people who win the coin toss, putting their preferred console as the second leg. Because then if it goes to extra time, he goes to penalties, you're on your preferred console. However, we think the mindset from Resende is, look, I need to get out early. I've seen what Nicolas is like when he goes ahead, and he's really hard to claw back against. But the game plan's not really worked out here. And Resende hasn't found those goals that maybe he has been hoping for. Nicolas taking full advantage of the fact that Resende not looking on form, really. Not even hitting his time shots from outside the box.
Yeah, I think maybe some nerves just been settled in that first 45 minutes, you know. Resende finding himself in this cross-console final. I'm sure he'll come to life. One thing that has impressed me about Resende, though, in that first half was a couple of times we saw him in one-on-one situations. He was able to use a couple of skill moves to actually beat a player. And when you can beat a player, it's being controlled by Nicolas defensively, it means that it does open up one of those passing lanes that he tries so hard to shut off. So, promising signs for Resende. Similar opportunities from both players in that first half. However, as you say, Nicolas managed to absolutely nail the timing on that finesse shot, whereas Resende, when he had that opportunity, just couldn't quite match up. But here's Lionel Messi now on that left foot as well. Neymar inside the box. Good tackle, though, from Cancelo.
He's not done anything there. He might have tried a croqueta, but he's probably got the direction just slightly wrong on his analog stick. And that was really the difference when Houston went up against Nicolas. He was incredible at scoring goals, but unfortunately, he just couldn't beat that final man, and so he was stuck hitting finesse shots outside the box. Whereas if Resende can notice that, if he can start a few skill moves here or there to beat that final man, he's going to notice he's going to have so much space to either hit a shot or even just play that final pass that he so desperately needs.
Messi then manages to get in behind Patrick Vieira here. This is where Resende is going to be dangerous. Kante, round the corner, CR7. R9 tried to pop it back to the man from Portugal in the middle there, but couldn't quite find that pass. Intercepted well, and Nicolas is now going to come away once more.
And just look how reluctant Resende is to shoot as well. He knows how good Nicolas's goalkeeper movement is, so he's not taking that shot that maybe normally we would see him take, what we saw him take in the console final previously. He's trying to get the extra pass, he's trying to get that space. Nicolas is already in Resende's head before this game even started, I feel.
Crowd roaring in game here. Resende comes forward once more. Kante Out wide to R9 here, and Kante has a little bit of space to maybe pick a pass. Oh, it's a loose one from Hullet. Ronaldo gets the ball back, tries to play it back to Kante, maybe to look to complete one of those offensive triangles, but Nicolas once again standing strong.
I think you really just have to watch where Nicolas drags all of his players, where he's positioning them. He's cutting off pass after pass, but then he just switches right at the last minute to attack the ball. And that makes it so hard for the player who's trying to attack against him, because you're constantly second-guessing yourself as, oh, should I be playing this pass? He's cutting off that one. There is a free one there, but is he going to suddenly switch and cut that one off as well? So much to think about.
Kante then out to R9. He hasn't had too much of an impact on the game, and that right-hand side attacking midfield position. Pull it now, he's just trying to time these passes, trying to beat the defense of Nicolas, but again, the wall stands strong.
I mean, naturally, Mark, you're probably saying, you're going to say to me, Dan, how on earth does anyone get through this defence? It's pretty difficult. I can't really give you an answer because Resende's tried several different avenues now. He's tried going down the wing and then trying to skill move it into the box for a pass across. It's not worked. He's tried a dink to the back post. It's not worked. He's tried his finesse shots from outside the box. It's not worked. So now he's at a point where he's like, well, I've run out of ideas. He needs to get creative with something, but whether that's actually within him, I don't know, because some of these players are stuck in a form of repetition where they've been winning games and playing well, but maybe he needs a mistake.
I was just about to say, one way that he could definitely get back into this is if Nicolas does make a mistake, and he has given the ball away a few times in dangerous area. Resende's been doing a good job here, the Brazilian, of closing down the space as early as he possibly can, keeping the pressure on his opponent, not making life difficult not making life easy, should I say, for Nicolas in that midfield area. Now Resende wins the ball back. 15 minutes left in game here.
And again, Resende's not been playing badly this game. He's also been defending very well. He's also been positioning and cutting off passing lanes extremely successfully. But it was just that one lapse.
Little mistake there from Kyle Walker.
That one mistake, and maybe another one. Kyle Walker gave the ball away, and Nicolas has absolutely pounced on that one as he goes 2 goals up now on the Xbox side of things.
Ball tried to be played in behind Kyle Walker there. He got a piece of it, but it just managed to sneak past him somewhere in that right back position. It was an area that Mike was highlighting on the touchscreen before we got this underway. We've seen the likes of Ramos in there. We've seen Varane in there a few times. See Cancelo, another option. Kyle Walker kind of let Resende down a little bit there. But as you say, one person who was more than happy and willing to take advantage of that situation was Nicolas. He now doubles his lead, and at 2-0, with the PS4 side of things to come in the second leg, this is the perfect first leg. He couldn't have asked for any more.
And I know he nicknames himself the Iceman, and I think he's earned that title in this tournament in particular. Has not looked nervous whatsoever at any point. Even when he was under a little bit of pressure, when he was all tied up at 1-1 in the console final, perhaps. He still felt like he was going to win.
He said the most nervous he's felt is when he was being interviewed in English. And even then, he looked pretty calm and composed, so...
To be fair, I don't blame him. I'd be nervous if I was interviewed in Spanish.
Yeah, so would I think all of us. Ronaldo. From the kickoff then for Resende. 2 goals the difference between the two teams. Pele inside the box. Might have an opportunity to strike this one on his left foot. You saw Nicolas employing that goalkeeper movement again. Trying to predict where that strike would go. Marcelo gets the header away there, but Resende keeping the pressure on. As we come to the end of this first leg here on the Xbox, Ronaldo inside the box, goes towards the back post. There was a chance there for Mbappe, but he couldn't convert.
9 minutes left for Resende to try and claw something back, because he really is going to be climbing up quite the hill on the PS4 side of things. If Nicolas didn't already look comfortable, if he didn't already look calm, he's going to look even better when we get to the PS4.
You can see in the player cams as well, Resende having to work. You can see it on his face. Look, if you concentrate his eyes, how he's having to concentrate and switch players defensively. Nicolas is making him work so hard at every single aspect of his game. It's such an examination of not only your defensive play when you play against Nicolas, but what can you bring to the table? How do you break me down? It's the ultimate test as far as FIFA 19 is concerned. And here comes Nicolas at the end, looking to burst into life, but The concentration there from Resende means that he wins the ball back, and now he can go on the attack himself. Pele out to Mbappe, chance to get back into it, and he is back into it. Kylian Mbappe will be the scorer, and Resende is very, very much back into our cross-console final.
And what a time to do it as well. The entire 90 minutes, really, Nicolas has been pulling the strings. He's been the puppet master. Resende was Pinocchio, but now he's finally turned into a real boy. He's got a goal. He's back into this final, and it's what he needed to give him a little bit of hope.
Mbappe once again making the difference. A few minutes left in this game, but it sets it up beautifully for our second leg here. At 2, you feel Resende going into that second leg. His head's going to be down. He's going to be thinking, how do I get back into this? Maybe I start with a 4-2-2. Maybe I adjust my formation, my in-game tactics, but at just one goal, his head's going to be lifted, and Nicolas is going to be feeling a little bit nervous potentially.
And who was it again? That man Mbappe. I don't know how many times I've said it. It's absolutely crazy that the man can be brought on, whether a super sub or whether he started, but it's all been those through balls to Mbappe that have been finding space outright, and whether he's been dinking that ball to the back post or whether he's taking those shots direct, it's always his name, either as an assist or as a goal.
Now, just to remind everyone at home, we have a little break here just while the players switch over consoles to the PlayStation 4 now. So the Xbox is done. Resende losing, though, on his home console has got to be a little bit of a tough one, but the momentum is certainly with him. If you get that goal towards the end of the game, it does give you that belief, that self-belief, the confidence that you need to perform that comeback. I'm just interested to see, can he get that first goal in this second leg? Because that's going to be so vital. If he gets the first goal in this second leg, we are set up absolutely beautifully to close out the competition here in London.
It's how Nicolas reacts to conceding that goal, because regardless of how cool, calm and collected he's been all tournament, that's going to be frustrating for him, considering he really did dominate the game for 90 minutes. And to concede in the last minute, he's going to be pretty annoyed about that. If he can just ignore it and say, all right, look, I go in, I'm 2-1 up, I'm a goal ahead on the console I'm not familiar with. I'm playing on my home console now. I just need to play my game, and that trophy will have my name on it.
And I mean, you look at the chances here, you know, it was a slight mistake from the fullback there, Kyle Walker, that gave Nicolas that second goal. I think he'll feel a little bit hard done by himself there, Resende, that obviously that situation has occurred, but you take that out of the equation a little bit, created chances towards the end here. That first one with Mbappe with a cross towards the back post. He's shown that he can break Nicolas down, which is more than a lot of players can say here in London.
And you could see Nicolas tried to get to that ball as well, but it was Mbappe's run off the ball that was just too good, and he's too quick getting in those spots. And maybe Resende can take something from that. Maybe he can look at it and say, all right, this is how I break down Nicolas, the unbreakable Iceman. As you see some of the stats on screen there, possession was in favor of Nicolas, 55%, and look at the pass accuracy from both players. I mean, 92% pass accuracy is incredible.
Yeah, unbelievable stuff from both players, and nothing short of what you'd expect in a cross-console final. Obviously, we had 32 players turn up here in London for this event, 16 on each console. Now we are down to just 2. We can obviously only have one cross-console champion, but who's impressed you this tournament, apart from the 2 that we have on our stage? Because obviously there's been a lot of players, there's been some players returning into the tournament. It seems like every time we have one of these tournaments at the moment, there's different players that are coming in and out of the tournament. Who are the players that you've been impressed with, and who maybe has got some work to do, should we say, moving ahead to Bucharest next week?
I mean, one player who fills both of those categories is maybe Rocky. I was impressed with what he was able to do during the Swiss phase, but then he didn't quite get there during the knockouts. I think he's a name we should be watching, considering his history in FIFA. On the other side, Goal Machine. I mean, he got so far, he took down Tex of all people, but then he just fell a little bit short. Whether he put too much into that game against Tex and then struggled going into the console final, I don't know. But either way, I'm sure he'll be more than happy with getting that far.
Oh, for sure. And obviously Mo Alba as well, another player who had a little bit of a disappointing performance here so far. You know, we saw a few of those on day 1. Unfortunately, not enough of them for his to make it through to day 2, but definitely one to keep an eye on next weekend as well. He's had some really impressive performances, but it just shows, the point of this for me is to talk about the level of competition. Every single tournament that we're getting to, it seems like we have more and more players involving themselves into the conversation at the start of tournaments of who's going to win this. Because now, you know, everyone at the start of the year was saying Tex is winning everything. Tex has won the first 2. He's going to win the next one, the next one, the next one. Tex now He hasn't won the last two. There's been different winners coming in from different regions. It just makes every single tournament we're going into unpredictable and even more exciting.
And maybe that takes a little bit of pressure off Tex for the next couple of tournaments that he's qualified for, because he keeps qualifying for them, because he is insane. And he will look at these games that he's losing, he will work out how to get even better, if that is possible. But you speak about Mo Alba, I mean, I think he tweeted out the first time he hasn't qualified out of Swiss stage ever, which just shows how good the caliber of players that we're starting to see now, tournament after tournament. And the fact that to get here, they're beating hundreds of other players as well. Yeah. And now we've got to our two best players at this tournament. And I mean, I thought at 2-0, Nicolas had this in the bag. I thought there's no way Resende's going to break down this defense. He can't find a way through at all. But then he's finally struck gold with Mbappe. He's finally noticed that actually, Mbappe versus Marcelo, Mbappe is still winning that race, despite the fact the team of the year Marcelo is equally as rapid. Mbappe's just nuts.
Mbappe is nuts, and he's been very, very impressive, that team of the year for items so far this tournament, and I'm sure we're going to be seeing a lot more of him as the tournaments roll on, and they're coming thick and fast at the moment. A reminder to everyone at home, of course, that we have, another tournament coming up next weekend in Bucharest, so that's another one to look forward to. But all focus at the moment on this one. It looks like we're just a few moments away from getting into our second leg now. If you're just joining us, a reminder that Nicolas goes into this second leg 2-1 up after a late goal from Resende, halved that deficit. So 1 goal here for Resende to tie things up. And he has created chances, Dan. That's been the big positive for me. If you look back on the last couple of games that Nicolas has had, he's just dominated his opponents. And, we're talking quarterfinals, we're talking semi-finals. These aren't like average Joe players he's playing in these games. And he's managed to close them out pretty easily, to be honest with you. But here, Resende has shown that he can chip away at the Iceman. And there's been a few snowflakes just laying on the floor.
And I think at 2-1, Nicolas now is in a weird space. A weird kind of little mind game of with himself where he's like, how do I actually approach this game? At 2-0, he's probably thinking, I can sit back, I can defend, I can play the possession game. But at 2-1, you're suddenly very vulnerable just for one mistake.
Well, here we go then. Second leg. Resende has the added pressure of being down by 1 goal. Of course, we're on Nicolas's preferred console now, the PlayStation 4. And he will be the first player on the attack. Well, it wins the ball back. CR7 now, out to Messi. This is a really quick start, and it's a goal immediately. Coming in from Nicolas, 3 minutes 20 on the clock. R9 Ronaldo. Forget the team of the year players. It's the icon we've seen all season long, bagging himself one on that left foot.
And that is one way to cancel out the last-minute goal from Resende, by getting a third-minute goal on your preferred console, giving you that 2-goal advantage, that 2-goal cushion that Nicolas knows he can now play off. I said he's got a battle with his own mind. Well, now he can just play the possession game. He doesn't need to go forward. He doesn't need to go for goal desperately. Instead, he can sit back like he has done for the past few games, absorb that pressure, wait for Resende to overcommit some of those fullbacks, and then bam, hit him on the counter-attack.
Resende then, his task just became a little bit more difficult. And Nicolas, again, winning the ball in that sort of area of the pitch means that he can go backwards from there. He can bring those CDMs into the game. Eat up a little bit of the clock before he decides to go forward once more. Almost gave the ball away there, Lionel Messi. Trying to get involved himself and find himself winning the ball back. But speaking of Lionel Messi, it will be Nicolas now who's coming forward once more. Look at the space here for Hullet. Oh, he puts it wide. Not sure if the defender got a piece of that. He didn't, but a big chance there for Nicolas and some real space for him to work with in front of that back four from Resende.
And we spoke about, well, Nicolas, how is he going to be on the Xbox? Will he have practiced it? On the other side for Resende, in my opinion, as an Xbox player, I think the transition from Xbox to PS4 is harder. I think the controller is that much different. The analog sticks are a lot higher, a lot more sensitive on your thumbs. However, history would say it's easier to transition onto a PS4 because it's always been an Xbox champion for the past 2 titles. Nicolas is here to change that.
Nicolas on the attack once again then. Here's Patrick Vieira, space here for Lionel Messi. Drops the shoulder with that fake shot. Beautiful little drag back. Messi, Courtois forced into a big save for Resende.
And a quick pause now from Resende because he's noticed he doesn't have as much of the possession that he would like. He's struggling to keep up with the pressure of Nicolas, so he wants to change things up a little bit. And also, at 2 goals down, you always say to me, Mark, well, when's the right time to change your tactics? I mean, I'd say just at any point where you don't feel comfortable in the game, if you feel like you're about to concede yet another goal and go maybe 3 or 4 behind, that's when you make those changes.
Sometimes these pauses can be mental resets as well. It's just taking those few minutes away from the game. It is such a heavy focus-based game, and you need so much concentration. I talk about it a lot because it's so true, and just taking those few moments just to have a little mental break before you indulge yourself back into the action can give you that little reset that you need. Corner then for Nicolas. Marcelo sends this one up high towards the back post. Ronaldo back across goal for Nicolas. Courtois again has to make a save here for Resende. He's weathered the storm a little bit, to be honest with you, at the start of this second leg. Now he needs to create something going forward, but he's given the ball away almost immediately out of the hands of Courtois.
It was a really nice set piece as well. It's great to see how the kind of corner meta is developing. I remember it started with front post headers. We saw in Paris, Mo Albert just moving one of those defenders from the back post towards the front post. And now we're seeing back post headers nodding it back across goal as well. Players constantly developing new ideas and new ways to try and find goals from these set pieces.
And Nicolas, more than aware of the goalkeeper movement from his opponent there, decided to drive that one across goal with Lionel Messi. Ronaldo turns and finishes. CR7 has made this a 3-goal game here for Nicolas. The Argentine has one hand on the trophy.
PS4 players rejoice. Maybe the reign of Xbox domination is slowly and surely coming to an end as Nicolas goes 3 goals up here in the cross-console final. And Resende really needs to dig deep and find something which I really don't know if he has, because Nicolas has looked phenomenal in this tournament.
Yeah, Resende's going to have to write his own story. And at this point, it's almost going to have to be a fairy tale, to be honest with you, because Nicolas has been so good. You just don't see him making enough mistakes for Resende to create 3 clear-cut opportunities in this game. But here he comes once again, the Brazilian. Kante swarmed off the ball again, and it was R9 Ronaldo sitting in front of the back 4 there.
It's what he does.
He wins the ball back.
He brings all of his attacking players back to defend with them. He cuts passing lanes with the likes of Ronaldo, with the likes of Messi. And that means even if they get past those players who are absolutely blasting through with their speed, then he has to face the CDMs. He's like he's playing gladiators, and he's trying to get past all the different gladiators, but he's never getting to the end.
It really is the gauntlet when you go up against the defence of Nicolas. Cancelo then for Nicolas. Oh, look at this. Look at the space here for Messi. Unfortunately, the linesman's flag, I believe, went up, but it was for a different player. Messi takes advantage of it. R9 inside of the box. Resende can't believe it. I think he saw the flag go up.
I think they both did.
But Nicolas kept his focus. He kept his concentration. And once again, it's the left foot of R9 Ronaldo. He finds yet another goal.
If there's one thing my parents taught me, if there's one thing that my coach taught me, it's always play to the whistle. I think both players saw the flag go up. Nicolas was hesitant with Messi at first, but then he was like, oh, okay, no, wait, I'm still going. And he found that goal. Resende probably frustrated, because you're right, Mark. I think he dropped the ball a little bit there.
3-0 then in the second leg here to Nicolas. 4-1, sorry, 5-1, I believe now on aggregate as well. And I think at this point, unless Resende can make some magic happen, that this game is pretty much just going to come to its conclusion. Neymar, though, for the Brazilian. Pull it on the edge of the box. Ronaldo, he's got one back. 5-2 now on aggregate.
And those are the goals he's been looking for constantly. And those are the goals that Nicolas have been defending very well against. Keeper movement is usually on point. It was only hit yellow as well. So arguably a green would have been even further into the corner of that net. But maybe just a lapse of concentration from Nicolas there. Maybe a bit of overconfidence, thinking that this game was already over. I mean, in his head, he's probably already thinking about partying, about Argentinian flags flying, his whole family sending him congratulations, because why wouldn't you at 4 goals up? But he just needs to stay focused and close this one out.
Nicolas then with the wake-up call with that goal from Resende. 3 goals the difference. Well, you say that, I mean, all of a sudden it doesn't seem as big a difference, but Pele is looking to restore that lead. Courtois makes the save, though.
And Resende certainly needed that goal just to give him a little bit of a lift. I'm sure after the third he was thinking, all right, well, there is no chance. But even just that slight glimmer of, well, I guess I could score 3 goals, is going to be what actually keeps him playing, what keeps him focusing. Making sure he hits every single pass, making sure he watches every single run.
The pressure here from Nicolas, though. There's no option but to play it out to the fullbacks here. Kante into the middle now. Neymar with a shot. Surprise, surprise. Nicolas has the answer.
But again, Nicolas is kind of forcing that shot. He's forcing that right-footed shot. He knows where it's going. And he's saying, even if you try and put this across goal, it's not going to work out because the player's off balance. The player's not going to be able to hit it that well, and I'll have time to move my keeper there if necessary anyway.
Neymar then, CR7 drops the shoulder around his man. The drag back's there. Starting to look a little bit nervy here in defence, Nicolas, all of a sudden. Kante. Over to Messi. Attempts that finesse shot. And I think just in time, you saw a little shake of the head there from Nicolas just as that half-time whistle came. With this defence dropping back, he's kind of inviting a little bit of pressure on himself.
Yeah, and I don't know if he looks nervy, but I think it's Resende suddenly bringing out the dragbacks, bringing out the cricketers, bringing out ways of actually getting past 1 or 2 players. Because once you've beaten a couple, that's when you do get a little bit flustered in defence.
4-2-2 then time for Resende. Thinking about bringing some fresh legs on the pitch. Kylian Mbappe's done some works from the bench so far this weekend in London. He's got a lot more to do in this 45 minutes. 45 in-game minutes for Resende to pull off one of the greatest comebacks of all time in FIFA esports. Can he do it? Let's find out.
And regardless of whether you're an Xbox player or a PS4 player, send these players your energy. Use the hashtag Gfinity FIFA to get involved in the conversation as well. Let us know who you think is going to take this one, as it's all a bit nervy now for both players because only 45 minutes left to see who we crown as our cross-console champion.
Neymar meet Patrick Vieira. And it wasn't an introduction I think he'll want to make again. He just got bullied off of the ball there. And one thing Nicolas is really good at, I want to talk about as well, is even when he's putting pressure and trying to win the ball back from his opponent, he's so good at guessing which way you're going to turn. He almost second guesses it so that he can win the ball back. But here's Mbappe, fresh on the pitch, trying to cause some problems for Nicolas again. Giving us the opportunity to praise his defense, but Resende's looking for the opportunity for his offense to be praised here as he's turning with Kante. Again, though, Ronaldo wins the ball back. He's been just as effective going back for Nicolas as he is at the other end of the pitch.
And I mean, we saw what Resende did to some of the players he faced during Swiss. We saw him take down the likes of Gorilla. The Cody the finisher was taken aside by Resende as well. When he beat Gorilla 8-6, he managed to put 8 goals past Gorilla. And even though Gorilla's not known for his incredible defensive ability, he's still one hell of a player.
Oh, my word. Whew.
As Nicolas almost put this tie to bed. And a little bit rushed there from Resende, giving the ball away.
Oh, there's so much space here for R9. Tries to play it back. And this is the pattern of play you're going to see here. There will be chances for Nicolas to score again. Because Resende, with this change of formation, has to throw players forward. He needs 3 goals. And he's only got around half an hour in-game left in the match across the 2 legs to do so. So he has to take risks. He has no choice at this point.
I mean, we have seen it happen. I think it was Mo Alba last event who scored maybe 3 or 4 goals in like the last 10 minutes to come back into a tie. It's definitely doable against your normal player, but is it doable against Nicolas?
Kylian Mbappe going to be caught offside on that right-hand side then. Gives the possession back to Resende from the restart. You'll see Pele coming onto the pitch now. Few changes. And now you're seeing constant pressure. Width, high. Depth, high. Just pushing up the pitch. Giving himself as many attacking options as he can. Nicolas, all he needs to do here is just stay calm, stay composed, and do what he's done all tournament long. See out this game, and you're going to be picking up 850 Global Series points. You're going to be picking up a nice wad of cash as well. And you can be picking up the title of the cross-console champion for the first time in so long for the PlayStation.
I feel like Nicolas has the opportunity here to kind of just go at Resende. If he's noticing that Resende's just sending everything forward, as soon as he gets the ball, go on the attack. Don't try and time waste. Don't try and pass it around too much, because maybe that's when you'll suddenly give the ball away. And you'll give that chance to Resende. as the minutes tick along, then that's when you start to control the game. That's when maybe you go into that corner flag.
Every single player behind the ball there for Nicolas. Maldini finds a little pocket of space here. Eusebio, I believe that was on that left-hand side with the strike. Did test Manuel Neuer at least. Neuer sends this one forward. Look at that ball. Looked like it. Resende was more than aware of that driven goal kick in behind though. Bringing out Courtois nice and early. Mbappe then into Eusebio. Kante now. Going to be dropped there by Ruud Gullit, so a free kick being given. Nicolas will be absolutely fine with that. Takes a few more seconds out of the game. If Resende gets one now, this becomes very, very interesting. Mbappe's inside the box. Twisting, turning, Kante. Trying to find a way through the wall of Nicolas, and it's just not happening. And it's nothing to be ashamed about. More praise has to go to Nicolas in the way that he's just been playing.
And every attack, every counter-attack is going to allow Nicolas to put that final nail into the coffin for Resende, or put that final scratch mark of his name onto the trophy. And he has looked like our best player here today. I don't think anyone can doubt that. Across the whole weekend, he's dominated. But maybe still chances yet. No, it's going to be a tackle that takes out Pele there. And Nicolas gets the chance once again to waste some time, but down that right wing, it's that man again, Mbappe, and it's not going to the corner flag. He's heading towards goal.
Here's Neymar, round the corner. Ramos has to make a tackle, but Neymar's got it back. Slightly panic clearance there from Kyle Walker. Ronaldo, though, he wins it. That's why the pros love Cristiano Ronaldo so much on this game. That aerial ability, and look at this run from Ruud Gullit, creating the space here for Kante. Kante across to Pele. Pele with the strike, but again, Nicolas finds a way to get a body in the way.
And it feels like we're repeating ourselves now with just how many times he has put bodies in the way, and Gullit just bullies his opposition off the ball there, and he's going to play a long ball. It's going to be caught out by Maldini though. And you've got to feel, Mark, with 8 minutes left, history is going to be made. We are probably going to have our first PS4 champion in quite some time. I think it was Marcoso last time beating Rafso. I mean, that is an absolutely incredible feat for Nicolas.
Just caught offside as he was looking to put the cherry on top of the cake. Here comes Resende again. It's been a fantastic tournament from the Brazilian. We need to give him credit where credit's due. Still not giving this up. Still showing so much heart. Representing Brazil. Eusebio, very disappointing strike on goal from him, but at the same time, all the plaudits were given to Resende for how much he's done in this tournament, how much he has achieved. You have to give even more to the man on the other side of the stage, Nicolas 99. You're looking to put this game to bed, to call himself a champion once more. Eusebio cannot beat Courtois, but here he comes once more.
The last 4 tournaments, he started it being in the quarterfinals. He then got to the semi-finals. He then won the PS4 side of things, but fell short in the cross-console final. But now Nicolas is going to even up himself one better and become the cross-console champion, Mark. Absolutely amazing.
And there it is, ladies and gentlemen, your champion here in London is the man on your screen. Nicolas 99 has done it again, and he's done it for the boys on the PlayStation. Your cross-console champion is Nicolas.
And that's not to take anything away from Resende. If you look at the Xbox side of the bracket, and what a champion he is of the Xbox side. But it was a masterclass from Nicolas. He demonstrated almost near perfect FIFA today, and it's been incredible to watch.
It was Argentina versus Brazil in our cross-console final. The Argentine has taken it home, and here to take us home for the final time is Tom and the guys on the desk.
That's enough analysis done for January right now. So it's time to welcome out your January champion. It is Nicolas! There he My main man, vamos! I'm gonna come this side. Look at this. Let's welcome it in. Give it up one more time. It's Nicolas, your champ. Woo! Absolutely loving it. No trophy, just a novelty check. Talk to me. Why? I know. Good question. How do you feel right now? Put it into words.
I'm so happy. Finally, I won a cross-console final or tournament, and I don't know, so happy.
Yeah, indeed. Kyle, great work from you and Boris. Do you know what? I'll help you. Do you want me to carry it for you? Are you happy with it? You can carry it.